chukwu nke igwe n'ala gị ka ịtụkwasịrị obi bịa ka ị nọnyere anyị n'ofufe nsọ ka ụbọchị taa gịnị ga-eme ka ndị ndụ ka m ghara ife chukwu gịnị ga-eme ka ndị ndụ ka m ghara ife chukwu gị chukwu nke igwe n'ala gị ka ịtụkwasịrị obi na anyị na-arịọ gị ekwekwala ka ị gbafee gịnị ga-eme ka ndị ndụ ka m ghara ife chukwu gịnị ga-eme ka ndị ndụ ka m ghara ife chukwu ụmụnne m dị isi ojii ka anyị chukwu ekele bụ onye kwesịrị ịtụkwasị obi mgbe dum gịnị ga-eme ka ndị ndụ ka m ghara ife chukwu gịnị ga-eme ka ndị ndụ ka m ghara ife chukwu ụmụnne m dị isi ojii ka anyị chukwu ekele bụ onye kwesịrị ịtụkwasị obi mgbe dum gịnị ga-eme ka ndị ndụ ka m ghara ife chukwu gịnị ga-eme ka ndị ndụ ka m ghara ife chukwu
gịnị ga-eme ka m dị ndụ wee ghara ife chukwu mgbe dum gịnị ga-eme ka ị dị ndụ wee ghara ife chukwu mgbe dum ihe a bụ ajụjụ ị kwesịrị ịjụ onwe gị
ụmụnne m dị isi ojii ka anyị chukwu ekele bụ onye kwesịrị ịtụkwasị obi mgbe dum gịnị ga-eme ka ndị ndụ ka m ghara ife chukwu gịnị ga-eme ka ndị ndụ ka m ghara ife chukwu.
Good morning, viewers all over the world. Egwu ị nụrụ kịta bụ egwu si na ngalaba na-afụ gbasara mgbasa ozi ọdịnala Igbo Ugochi Tubelu ọdịnala Temple. Ọ bụrụ na ị laikiri egwu ị nụrụ kịta ị chọrọ ịdownload ya jee na Audio Mark, the iTunes and rest of them ka ị chọọ onye bụ egwu ka ị download kwazi ya. For some of you that are seeing me for the first time, kpọọ m Ogbuefi Eze-Ana Ugochi Tubelu n'Oraifite. Nkwaziri ike ịkpọ m aka ji ugo. Abụ m onye isi nchụaja na Ugochi Tubelu ọdịnala Temple. Anyị na-agba afa miri emi rụkwazi ọrụ mmụọ dị iche iche. Abụkwazi m onye isi nchụaja na ọdịnala Restoration Evangelical Mission, bụrụkwa onye mgbasa ozi ọdịnala Igbo. So you can call me a priest or an evangelist, I will answer. My mission is to help people live better life. N'ụbọchị taa n'oge awa nke isiokwu anyị bụ total submission to the will of God. Total submission to the will of God. Yes. So before we dive into today's lecture, important announcement. Don't forget that we are still in the month of January. Our group ritual for the month is still ongoing. And don't forget that you can join us anywhere you are all over the world in our group rituals. Yes. I want to show this way na aja na achụ maka mbunye na jipụta ihe. Chat ya m na WhatsApp. Forward ya 3 prayer requests anyị ga-edebe n'ọta na-achụ aja na-aga ọfọ na-ekwubi okwu n'isi gị throughout the month. N'isi ụtụtụ a, ejegori m na temple chụọ aja gaa ọfọ kwubi okwu n'isi ndị niile sonyela anyị. Etu a ka anyị ga-esi megide eti the last day of the month. Last day of the month. Ihe anyị ga-eme bụ na anyị ga-eje na mmiri kwara ihe ọnụ na-eri jee mee saraka to ihe Chukwu kere eke dị na mmiri. Anyị gbagotazie na-akpọ ọkalete ndị mmiri chụọ aja ihe mmehie. Chigata na temple chụọ aja to entities of powers n'aha mmadụ dum. jee n'ebe nchụaja gbuo ebu ma mesara aka. I can tell you n'ike dị n'aja a na-achụ n'igwe maka na igwe bụ ike. So ọ bụrụ na ị chọrọ isonyere anyị n'aja, ihe ị ga-eme bụ chat me on WhatsApp, make token donation to the account number. Chatzie m na WhatsApp agwa gị other details we need for you in order to book you. Ọ bụrụ na ị nwere ajụjụ na nkụzi a ma ọ bụ na ị chọrọ ka agbara gị afa miri emi, chatịa m na WhatsApp nọmba 0805 7837672. I repeat, 0805 7837672. Or 0813 8243871. I repeat, 0813 8243871. Let's now proceed. Remember our topic of today, total submission to the will of God. Now, the question is, can you hear the will of God in creation? And how you can be able to submit to that will. I keep saying that what you don't know remains a mystery to you and not to all. And I keep advising you that if you are knowledgeable, you become a master. If you remain ignorant, you become a slave. So, what I can tell you, work very hard to be knowledgeable so that you will always understand how things work in creation. Because lack of the knowledge, most times people run into challenges they created for themselves. Apart from him, we can do nothing. He is the unmovable mover. He is the beginning and the end. Apart from him, nothing stands. All power flows from him and ends in him. So you need to understand whom the Almighty Father, the creator of the whole universe is. And like I keep telling you, he is the father of all nations. All spirituality is one. So the total submission to the will of God is by accepting his will. You must acknowledge his will and obey it. Let's go to Hosea 4:6. He said, my people are suffering because of lack of vision and knowledge. Yes, because you lack knowledge, you don't even have vision. So it's like you lost the sense of purpose. You don't even know why you are here on earth. Today, the only thing you can do to whoever you love is to tag the person, share this message so that the person will hear from the horse's mouth. I have told you times without numbers in my previous lectures that there is a purpose why Chukwu permitted we human beings to be here in this gross material world in order to experience and mature. That is the purpose of creation of man. I told you that man, in his spiritual reign, we human beings all over the world, irrespective of color or race, we are all humans. And I have told you in my previous lecture that what really actually made us to have these colors you are seeing is the climate and the type of food we eat. That originally is the climate and food that normally make us look different. I remember I told you when I was in India, the anwụ na-acha na be ya anwụ 10 o'clock we be saying anwụ na anwụ achaka befa nke dịkwa anwụ 10 o'clock onye abụ na anwụ acha ya gbogbo. And me ekuzi other continents like the Russians and the rest of them nwere ebe oyi ịnụ na oyi na-atụ. Iburu onye Nigeria, I remember when I was in northern India, Kulu Manali. Ọ bụrụ na ịnụ na oyi na-atụ, iche na oyi na-atụ ba ya, I can tell you, oga, ifubere oyi. I remember my experience there. Why in Kulu Manali, in northern India? That time, I used to wear jeans up and down. In fact, when I arrived there newly, and may stockies throughout the day. jeans up and down. I akwa n'ime yikwasị jeans up and down. Even while sleeping, you cover yourself 2 blankets. Ị ga-eje na hita sasịa ahụ. By the time ị na-apụta, ahụ eshake wego. Ịghọta ụdị oyi a na-agwa gị. So nke a story for another day, but ihe m na-achọ ịkọwara gị bụ Chukwu okike kere mba dum n'ụdị ha. But that will of God in creation is that when Chukwu okike created we all human spirits, we are all spirits in spiritual realm. Enwero this is man, this is woman, no. And enwero this is race in the spiritual realm. But in order to live in this gross material world, Chukwu taught it wise, because in the spiritual realm we are all spiritual down. We don't even know that we existed. We are conscious of who you are. If I ask you where were you in the last 500 years, in the last 1,000 years, you know, you don't know. The simple reason is because you're unconscious of who you are, your origin. So in the proximity of God, human spirit lose consciousness because of lack of maturity to withstand the vibration of the supreme head, whom is God. Now, he thought it wise to send human spirit down to cooler region, this gross material world, so that he will recover the consciousness. Because in the proximity of God, human spirit will melt. Human spirit will not be able to discover his existence because of the radiation. Because radiation from the throne of divinity radiates the entire spiritual realm. So that's why one man was sent to this gross material world that is cooler. So know the purpose why you are here on earth is the will of God. Know that Chukwu created you here so that you will be able to mature. And he gave you the natural laws. Tell you that the only way you can be able to mature and become a better human spirit is by keeping his laws. He gave so many laws. And Galatians 6:7, and I quote, God can never be mocked. Whatever you sow is what you reap. Is one of the laws. That givers never lack is one of the laws. You give in creation, you receive. You give in creation, you receive. For you to remain in this gross material world is an act of giving. Because Chukwu Okike gave you life. And for you to live in this continually living, you must learn how to give. That is why he said, givers never lack. Once you give, you receive back. And I told you, even in creation, for you to live, we need to be able to work with other creations. It's not only human. That is why we human beings, we breathe in oxygen. We breathe in, we receive. When you breathe in, you receive. And when you breathe out carbon dioxide, you give. Therefore, we run exchange with other creation. So don't think that for you as a human being, that other creation does not matter. No, we need each other in order to coexist in this gross material. Know this and know peace. That is why we give oxygen, we receive oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. Then the plants, yes, they are here to coexist with man. The plant will take in the carbon dioxide and give us oxygen. So we receive by giving. If you say breathe in, you cannot receive until you give. That is law in creation. You cannot receive again. Once you take it, you receive, you give out before you be able to receive. That is the law of giving. Givers never lack. Once you give, you receive. Nothing is totally free. If you have not watched my program, my lecture in creation, the title is nothing is totally free in creation. It will help you to understand today's lecture. So in creation, Chukwu gave us everything. anyị nwere law of attraction, law of homogeneous species, laws of sowing and reaping. All these are natural laws. And we only understand the will of God in creation in these laws. I can tell you without fear or favor that what most people run into challenges of life because of carelessness and because they don't understand how things work. Thereby, they're giving themselves to clash with the natural law that have been in existence. Because Chukwu, after creating the entire universe, he set the world in motion. That is why time waits for no one. You keep on going. You are not the commander of the entire universe. You are the set goal. Chukwu have set it rolling, the entire universe, and they mandated the natural beings to keep going and to ensure that whatever any man sows, so shall you reap. Some can even call it karma. And over that natural laws that are there to mention that whatever any man sows, you reap it. Now, if you don't want negativity, don't sow negativity. Because the guide, the spiritual guide are there. Weaving. Whatever you are sowing, they take note of everything. They take note of every damn thing, negative or positive. And they keep storing it. In the spiritual realm, in the eternal world, there is this spiritual center for positivities and spiritual center for negativities. So if you are cultivating negative vibrations, it will be going to the negative vibration center. If you are cultivating positivity, it will be going to positivity connection center. And believe in me, all those things is linked with you because you are the one that saw it in creation. Definitely, whether you sow negativity or you sow positivity, they must flow back to you, the originator. There is no shortcut. It's at the appointed time. Appointed time, whatever you sow, you reap. So if you really want the will of God to be happening in your life, the will of God in your life is for you to be here on earth, live a positive lifestyle so that you become a better human being and enjoy worthy ancestors. So that by becoming a worthy ancestors, you become what the church people call the saints. Enjoying the decision-making body in the spiritual realm. So that it means that you have fulfilled the purpose why you are here. You become an authority in the spiritual realm. That is the highest thing any man, human spirit can achieve. When you mature here on earth and become an authority in the spiritual realm, thereby you will be contributing your quota towards furthering creation. That is the purpose why man was created. So anything that is not within that is not within the plans or aligned with this natural will of God in creation is your own cup of tea. So if you want your tomorrow to be better, if you want their future to be good, begin today to sow those goodies in creation. Because definitely goodies will attract goodies in multiple fold. And if you want to know the will of God in creation, once you plant a corn, you have sowed corn. And believe in me, once that corn germinates, the corn will begin, the root of that corn will begin to look for those nutrients that are in common with corn components. Therefore, that is the only reason why the corn will give you multiple fold of what you sow. You sow a seed of corn, but I can tell you, by the time you finish nurturing that your corn, the corn will give you multiple seeds. That is the will of God in creation. So, the will of God in creation is that the natural laws will keep on doing that whatever you sow, you will be attracted with those similar vibrations. So if you don't like what is happening to you right now, you can change it by submitting yourself to that will of God. And by so doing, you'll be able to right the wrong of the past. Aside that, he can't change anything because everything happened in his power. I understand today's lecture is going more of spiritually for the matured mind, but I can tell you, total submission to the will of God is the only way out. If you really want to change anything that is negative around you, begin today. Makana is only in his power that everything happens. Only in his power. Know this today and know peace. Chukwu okike pụrụ ime ihe niile. He have already laid down the rules. There are some certain things that are happening on here on earth that is inevitable, like death. There is nothing anybody can do about it. You know why? Because why here on earth, once you are a human spirit and you accepted to be here on the earth in this gross material, once you enter the world, you submit yourself to the total will of God. You submit yourself to the natural laws that governs this universe, planet Earth. And for that, you have already submit yourself to the natural laws. And in submitting to the natural laws, anything that has beginning has end. In natural laws, anything that has beginning has end. Ndị Igbo na-atụ ilu chi na okwu na-akpọ dike ugboro na-abụ na ndụ. Ọ kpọọ ya na ndụ, ọ kpọọ ya n'ọnwụ. Because it have beginning, it must have end. As long as, even if you are an higher entity, and we go some higher entities that once live here on earth as humans, and we some beings will some higher beings will have mystics in human form. And we go many mystics. I don't want to start mentioning names because the lecture. The day I will give a lecture on mystics, is a different lecture altogether. But I can tell you, when we go the higher beings, call them called ones, call them mystics with higher vibrations from various planes that are permitted for a purpose to reincarnate here on earth for a particular purpose. And when some of those messiahs, call them messiahs, and I can tell you, then when messiah na their purpose is to submit themselves to the total will of God in order to achieve a particular purpose, and that purpose is why they were sent. I told you the story about Samson in my previous lecture, that Samson, before Samson was born, a messenger was sent across to his mom. That woman, you will be pregnant and you will give a birth. You will give birth to a son. That son will be a messiah to his people. In order not to contaminate yourself and the child you are about to give birth to, that you are forbidden from taking alcohol and other things, so that you will maintain the undiluted power of this particular child. And the mother was warned that there is no way she would never permit razor, aguba, amapa enwanisi. Is a full definition of Rasta, otherwise known here in this particular part of the world as Dada. Samson grew with that power restored on him until when he departed the set rules and that will of God in him was totally bastardized. So what am I saying? The total will of God in you is still under your care, either to maintain it or to discard it. But whatever, because human spirit, because we are spirit, we are given freedom Uncertain freedom that was given to us is not given to other creation, other created things from the lower regions. But we human beings, for the fact that we have this spark of God in us, the spark of God in us is that the spark of spirit, because spirit does not die. Ndụ anaghị enwe njedebe na ọ bụ mgbanwe ka a na-agbanwe ya. So because of that, ebe anwa mgbe anyị na-eje katikizm asị na oyiyi anyị yiri Chukwu ka na mkpụrụ obi anyị. Yes. So what am I saying is this: that resemblance of God within ourselves is within the spirit. So learn how to submit yourself to the total will of Chukwu. Because it's only by submitting yourself to this will that will make you to be great in life and achieve the primary purpose why you are created. Any other diversion or deviating from that original plan will amount to your doom. Because everybody, when you pass on, you will go and give account of all your deeds. You face the judgment seat of the chair. You give account how you use the power bestowed on you for positive or for negative, for upliftment of man or for downfall of man. So always submit yourself to the total will of God for your own betterment. Once you submit yourself to the total will of God, and it shall be well with you. So everything you are doing in your life, give Chukwu the will of God, the paramount position, and it shall be well with you. Let me stop here. If you have any question in today's lecture, or you want us to do deep consultation for you, chat me on WhatsApp. 0805-7837672. I repeat, 0805-7837672 or 0813-8243-871. I repeat, 0813-8243-871. As you are hearing my voice, may talk and share button so that your brothers and sisters will hear from the horse's mouth. Let me tell you, some of the reasons why you are here on earth might be to redeem your karma. Maybe the previous opportunity that was given to you to live according to the will of God, you bastardized them. And that is why another opportunity is given to you. Maybe one of those things that will make you to redeem your karma is to spread good messages like this, what you just had now. See you tomorrow. No gawan kezoku. Obo no nwe broje ji wechu aja. Emecha no ye pome. May the blessing of Chukwu be with you and abide with you. May your work of your hands begin to yield fruit. May you be favored. Kemesian.